Inside our ESPN Arkansas studios for a Thursday edition of Halftime. We're going to treat it like a Friday because it's the last show we're doing this week. That's right. The meat hooks are going. You are as close to the weekend as you could possibly be. SmackDown get the 3-day weekend. Matty T2. This day for me is just like a little oasis in the middle of a vacation where I figure, why not?
You look so relaxed right now. Good Lord, you look relaxed. The beard is looking beautiful. You're in your sunglasses.
You got a nice tan going on?
I got a burn going on right now. And I'm going to try my absolute best to stay focused on the conversation throughout the show. I know I was on with you guys yesterday for a couple of segments. Right exactly where I'm going to host today's show. Got a little outdoor mobile studio action. And I guess the only thing I'm missing right here is the umbrella drink because I've got the umbrella above me. I've got a couple of lounge chairs right here around me. I am on the top deck of this vacation house in Southern Shores, North Carolina, in the Outer Banks. I can see the ocean from here. There are windsocks blowing all over, seagulls here and there, and I'm working. This is work today, right?
Hey, that's a good little work office you got going on up there.
Not a bad workout at all. Not a bad day to work outdoors here in North Carolina. So I'm going to be heading back to be part of the show as usual next week. But today I'm going to try not to brag all that much. So this ought to be fun. And there are some things to get to, of course. We're going to have Bob Holt joining us, our usual Thursday guest, in about 28 minutes. Big news about the new top assistant coach, really an associate head coach for Arkansas men's basketball, David Patrick, giving up a head coaching job at UC Riverside to join Eric Musselman and his team, and makes two former head coaches that are joining Muss on this staff. And we will speak about the Major League Baseball summer camp and whatever you want to call this 60-game season that's supposed to start in about 21 or 22 days, depending on the team. Radio voice of the Milwaukee Brewers, Jeff Levering, will join us at 1:30, and we'll have to get a story from Levo about his radio partner, Bob Uecker. If you can imagine what it would be like to work with Uecker.
It's going to be a fantastic story.
I have a feeling it's a lot like working with Bill Walton, though probably a lot fewer drug references when you're talking with Uecker. Plus your calls and texts throughout the show, as usual, at 877-377-6963. And the first question came in, Bill, from Van Buren, now wondering if I've been fishing and throwing up. I was fishing, and leave it at that. Everything stayed inside my stomach, including, I told you guys yesterday, we caught 18 pounds of trout and bluefish. How many did we catch? I think we caught 9 fish. So it was 7 trout and a couple of bluefish, 18 pounds worth. None of them were huge. I think the biggest one was like maybe 5 pounds or something like that. We cooked those suckers last night. And so I ate them happily, and they were delicious. So I didn't throw up on the boat. The fish we ate stayed inside my stomach overnight. So it's already, I already have a leg up on sort of what I was expecting for this trip, SmackDown, because I did think I was going to provide chum in the ocean at some point, but thankfully that didn't happen.
That's good, because I didn't need you coming on the air yesterday and be like, well, guys, it didn't work. So you sound like you had a good time though yesterday.
Can't do it today, man. Those things ruin you. If you get seasick for a day, that ruins you. For really a couple of days after.
Who was it that called in and said that they were messed up for like 3 or 4 days straight or something?
I don't know. That might have been me.
Or it may have been you or someone.
About something that happened a couple of years ago. You guys had fun the last couple of days?
We've had a big time.
Days?
We've had a big time the past couple of days. We had Clay Henry yesterday. Clay's fixing a hip vacation. He's going somewhere in Colorado. And we had probably the mere incident of when you were at the Dickey Stevens Park when the storm came through, knocked out the internet. Nearly the same exact thing happened yesterday with Clay Henry. There was a little one of those heat summer storms that come through back where he is at Norfolk River. Knocked the internet out, so we had to adapt and adjust. But we had a good time. Good conversation. Great, and I mean great fireworks stories from yesterday. Oh, my God, there's some crazy people out there. So we've had a good time.
I don't know if I'll see many fireworks over the weekend, and I'm so used to being at a baseball park for July 4th. Although, the last 6 years calling Arkansas games, we don't play on July 4th, but
right.
do go to the Travelers games when I can. Fortunately, the minor league baseball season was canceled. Won't have any baseball or anything, any other team sports really that I think I'm interested in to pay attention to July 4th. I might be, because my plan right now is to drive the kiddos up to the Berg for at least a week. And in order to get from here to there, Washington, D.C. is a little more than halfway. Wouldn't it be cool to be in Washington, D.C. July 4th?
That'd be really cool.
I think that might be neat.
It'd be really neat with every I'd be curious to see what they kind of put on, but it seems like they always do the one of the biggest and baddest firework displays up there. I know back home where we're going with spending the 4th of July, they canceled the big 4th of July extravaganza in my little town of Floyd that I live in, so there's nothing there. But the Jenkins family is coming through in the clutch, and I don't know if we're putting it on we're not putting it on for the city, but we're going to have a good time this weekend too.
I thought I might stop in D.C. for a night with the kiddos. I don't know if I, have much of a chance to show them around. Not like I really know my way around D.C., but it'd be kind of I think that'd be a fun thing to do, July 4th. Where else, what other city would be the right place, other than maybe Philadelphia?
We did, I think it was 2 summers ago, me and the family took probably my first trip to the beach. We went to Gulf Shores, Orange Beach on the 4th of July weekend. They took a big, giant barge out in the middle of the ocean, and one of the biggest fireworks shows I've ever seen. It was humongous, but you talk about relaxing, feet in the sand, the umbrella drink. It was great. I never really thought about watching a fireworks show on the ocean. It was nice. That's where I would probably go back if I could.
Yeah, I like to see fireworks shot off over bodies of water. In Pittsburgh, they do it all the time. Got the Three Rivers there. Little Rock do it all the time. Makes sense. Shoot them off a barge, keep people really far away, and enjoy the exploding things up in the sky. Big news did break just before we got on the air today involving one of Arkansas's top rivals in the SEC West. Texas A&M football is being penalized for NCAA recruiting violations, and Jimbo Fisher is being handed a 6-month show cause penalty, which will knock him back a little bit with his ability to communicate with recruits starting in January. But apparently they had too many contacts with a recruit who had not entered his junior year, or at least did it once, more than once, and that was illegal. So Jimbo has owned up to it. He says he's responsible for promoting and monitoring NCAA compliance in the program. NCAA ruled that Fisher failed to promote an atmosphere of compliance with his personal involvement in the recruiting violation, failed to monitor his staff when he did not ensure the program was staying within an allowable number of countable athletically related activity hours. It's a bunch of jumble that says that Texas A&M really is being given just a slap on the wrist here for this. It's 1 year of probation, $5,000 fine, off-campus recruiting ban for the staff members this took place back in November of 2019. Plus, the school had ended its recruitment of the player, can't be allowed to recruit any players from that high school through the end of the 2021-2022 football school year. Interesting. This comes out right now, and I don't know if that really hurts A&M this year, but it might hurt them a little bit in the next couple of years.
Well, you already seen that where Jimbo Fisher is kind of not on a short leash, but just for the salary that he's making and the results that he's put forth. I don't think he's on the hot seat by any stretch, but it's these little things that'll get people talking. It's like, come on now. I mean, you're getting paid this much money to screw up in a little. Now, I say screw up. I mean, it's not like he committed a crime or anything, but I mean, it's little things like this that'll get the fans and the boosters maybe start riled up a little bit, because he needs to perform, and he's getting close to where he's going to have to.
Well, I tell you, if there is a football season coming up and Jimbo has another 7-win year, I think the hot seat might start a little bit. Although, that much money left on the contract, it would be a highly doubtable situation to get rid of him with all that money left on it. All right, we'll be taking you for the next hour and 50 minutes here on Halftime. And yes, John from Mountain Home, you're right, $5,000 pennies to Texas A&M. They got $5,000 in Jimbo's underpants.
I wish I had that problem.
In there. Yeah, I think we all wish we had that same problem. 877-377-6960 to get with me. Where's the best fireworks show around Arkansas? Where's the best fireworks town? If it's in your backyard, let us know and invite us. We'll show up. Masks and bells on. And halftime back after this.
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Craig.
You know what ketchup is? It's high fructose. It is pure sugar. Do you think fructose is good for you, Ty?
Doesn't sound like it, Clay.
And it is not. It is not good for you. It is not good for the steak. That's what you put on your steak. Corn frickin' syrup.
Don't miss The Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3.
Hey, this is Ed with Ed Walker's Drive-In. For more than 70 years, Ed Walker's has been the place to go for the best French dips and hand-patted hamburgers in town. Blue Plate Specials served Monday through Friday, and we're still the home of Fort Smith's only 5-pound hamburger. We're open 10 a.m. to midnight, 7 days a week. Call ahead for pickup, 783-3352. Ed Walker's Drive-In, 1500 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith, where the legend lives on.
You may not know what fireworks you won, but Pyro Eds does. Pyro Eds on Highway 45 south of Ream under the giant American flag knows times are tough and have lowered prices because everyone should celebrate the 4th of July. Pyro Eds is all about your comfort and convenience, like having a real floor with enough room for social distancing and incorporates the VIP fan boxes from Baumwalker Stadium. You can also order online at pyroeds.com for pickup. Subtle fireworks are available that won't scare the dogs. Free fireworks show tonight at 9:30. That's Pyro Eds, Highway 45 south of Ream.
We're now living in uncharted waters with the spread of COVID-19. With the partial closing of a lot of businesses, sadly, some will soon try and turn your possessions into their possessions. Guardtronic has been providing security for homes and businesses for over 60 years. Whether you need a camera system to keep an eye on things or a complete home security system, call Guardtronic 479-785-2323 or go online to guardtronic.com. We have so many worries these days, safety should not be one of them. License E50.
We're here to tell you about Boost Mobile's new upgraded network.
That's right. Stronger signal, faster speeds, and more coverage.
So now you can get everything you want faster, like Pitbull's music.
No, the new upgraded network means you can download music faster than ever before. It doesn't mean that it will make Pitbull songs faster.
Oh, so this isn't the song.
No, this is the song.
Well, this is embarrassing.
Step up with Boost Mobile's new upgraded network. Stronger signal, faster speeds, more coverage than before. Switch and get 4 unlimited lines for $25 per line per month and 4 free LG K51 phones. Access to upgraded network requires compatible device. New customers only. 4-line offer requires at least 1 port and activation from eligible carrier. Free phone limited to 1 per line while supplies last. Customers using more than 35 gigabytes of data during billing cycle may be deprioritized during times of congestion. Offers and coverage not available everywhere. Additional terms and restrictions apply. See boostmobile.com or retailer for full details.
Your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith is now open for dine-in, curbside to go, and delivery for both lunch and dinner, 7 days a week. TGI Fridays is taking your safety seriously, following every guideline. Enjoy Fridays favorites like appetizers, burgers, sandwiches, salads, all the great Fridays, signature entrees, kids meals, and great desserts. TGI Fridays, now open for dine-in, curbside to go, and delivery. Call 479-484-0906. That's 484-0906. Or order online at Fridays.com. Your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 in Rogers and Fort Smith.
Tri-Hill Turf offers the highest quality turf and pest services. Hey, you say those are big words. Well, let's see. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has a company agronomist, state and nationally certified technicians, free soil testing, and they even have precision GPS guided application equipment. Now that's high tech. For over 30 years, Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has used the latest application technology, and they strive for turf and pest excellence. They are your local turf and pest experts. Call the local team at 782-0404. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest.
This is ESPN 95.3. Want more halftime? Make sure to listen to the Halftime Pod, presented by Jeff's Clubhouse, Fort Smith's premier place for lunch, brunch, and catering. Give them a call at 479-308-9123. The Halftime Pod is available on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and SmackDown.
Back on halftime, and welcome back in the studios, 877-377-6963 to get with us. News broke yesterday at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The newest Arkansas basketball coach, David Patrick, is now one of 2 former head coaches on Eric Musselman's staff, along with Corey Williams, who, of course, was at Stetson for a number of years. Patrick was only at UC Riverside for 2 seasons and helped revive that program to where they picked up a couple more wins than losses last year before the cancellation of the Big West basketball tournament due to the pandemic. And I think to people that know Eric Musselman and know where he was from before and had an inkling of his relationship with David Patrick, it doesn't sound like that big of a surprise. A lot of us thought that he might just move Anthony Arruda, the director of ops, into the assistant role, but it's going to be Patrick instead, a guy who found it interesting reading Bob Holt's story about this in the paper, that Patrick recruited Eric Musselman to the coaching staff at LSU and recruited Ben Simmons to LSU and a number of other very good players. A guy that saw Richard Davenport writing about. Paul Biancardi says he is a tremendous basketball coach. Terrific recruiter. Muss also says he really likes how he works on the floor during practice. So I'll bet he's got a lot of energy, because if you're going to work for Eric Musselman, I think you're going to have a ton of energy, especially during practice.
You got that right.
Yeah.
And Aaron, Aaron Torres, we'll try to get AT on later in the show. If not, we'll push you for Monday. But he had a lot of big things to say about him, and he even said that this is Muss's most impressive, move or most impressive get, including recruiting, since his time here at Arkansas. And that's why, it's why it's impressive to me. Is like, you convinced a head coach of a D1 program to take an assistant's job.
Well, and I don't know the financial package that Patrick has been given at Arkansas, nor do I know what his salary was at UC Riverside. But if you talk about the idea of it's Division I basketball, but it's a completely different world that he's moving into, and it's I would imagine he's probably making more as the top assistant at Arkansas than he was as the head coach at UC Riverside. Plus, this is also an area where you end up perhaps getting a springboard to a bigger D1 coaching job at some point. It's not like after 1 year, 2 years, you're looking at your job at Arkansas as a springboard, but 3 years into it, maybe a little more, that's the kind of thing where a guy, if he's doing well, and I don't see anybody in Arkansas that's a fan of this team that thinks that they're not going to be getting better in year 2 under Eric Musselman, it could be a springboard for him.
Absolutely. He's got the background to do it, and I think where a lot of players will find it with recruiting, particularly, is the professional experience that both these guys have. Your 2 top coaches have professional experience, and I think that played a big part in getting the 4 freshmen to come to Arkansas, and it's going to play a part moving forward to getting probably these big grad transfers that we got this year. The more experience you can get professionally with these guys, they can rub off on these players that are wanting to play professionally, it's a win-win for everybody. It's a big win if you're a Razorback basketball fan, because the future seems awfully bright right now, particularly in the coaching staff.
Well, he'd spent a lot of years in some of the levels that are right around UC Riverside, St. Mary's, a couple of other places, of course LSU, but I think there's no doubt Patrick's he's got deep connections throughout, well, really all of college basketball, but I have a feeling he's got really good connections at some of the levels where some of the newer players that are coming in from right now, a guy like Jalen Tate from Northern Kentucky, and some of those other West Coast schools that you may end up seeing some players that are looking to get out to the SEC. And another the interesting thing about Patrick, and you wonder, Muss did mention it. He says, of course, there's his connection to Australia. And, Patrick is sounds like a well-traveled guy. Born in Bermuda, raised in Australia, and played at 2 Division I schools, Syracuse and Louisiana Lafayette, and then plays professionally, 3 international leagues, and then gets into the coaching game. So I'd be very interested to see if any dividends get paid off from this connection to Australia, which is definitely a continent and country that likes the game of basketball. Maybe you get a couple of players from there. I don't know. But it's also good to see. And you saw this with Coach Pittman. You bring in a guy who had been a head coach like Ryan Rhodes to get that perspective from one of your assistants. And it really does seem that Eric Musselman, there's a lot of assistant coaches across college basketball that were head coaches somewhere else. But you got two of them on this staff right now, one of them that left a job as a head coach to work for Muss. So it's another kind of like the window into Muss's mind. I think he likes to have the opinions of guys that have run programs, that they might see things from a little bit of a different perspective, but also from the same idea that I have run a program for a number of years. This worked for me, that didn't work for me. It just sounds like Muss has an open mind to be able to discuss these things with people. Look, and no head coach that's turned into an assistant coach is going to lose, his ideas and thoughts about what works at a Division I program. So do you go to that coach quite often and say, is this working? What do you think? It'd be interesting to get Muss's talk. I know we've got some quotes from the Zoom press conference yesterday that Muss did, but I'm interested to find out about, you got a couple of former head coaches here on this staff. What is it about former head coaches that are different from, a guy that hasn't been a head coach yet? Although Clay Moser, he and Muss have this long, long relationship that goes back years. So it just seems that where Muss was going to go, Moser was going to.
It's the same thing with Sam. Just like you pictured out there for a second. Pittman does this. Pittman did the same thing. Now the difference is between Pittman and Musselman, where Pittman doesn't have any head coaching experience, but you just get more of that camaraderie together. Just like you mentioned, is this working? Is this not working? Well, what did you do? What have you done right here? Let's try to implement it here. It's more minds to come together to bring the greater good for a team.
And of course, there were questions for Coach Musselman yesterday about Isaiah Joe. Now have. A couple of months until Isaiah's got to make his decision for the NBA draft, or at least stay in the draft or come back to school. I know I saw the quotes that Muss said, hey, I think we've probably discussed everything we possibly can about pros and cons for Isaiah, what he needs to work on, what teams will think about him.
Right.
It's, how many times can you have that conversation over now what has been a 4-month stretch? So, yeah, it's not like any conversation they have right now is going to change their mind or change Isaiah's mind. I think the Zoom talks that he is having with NBA teams, that's going to make his decision for him. So there's no timeline, or at least if there is one, the Joe family has not shared that, nor would you expect them to. But the questions still come from us. What's going to happen with Isaiah Joe? Because if he stays, if you keep him, you got your 13 scholarships filled. If he doesn't, there's going to be an open one for this upcoming season, and you do lose your top shooter.
Do you even feel? Let's assume he does go. I mean, we've talked about this prior to before you were on vacation. That's 12 right now? If he doesn't come back, that's 12 mouths he has to feed minutes to. And do you even fill that scholarship? Just leave it open or assign it to one of the walk-ons or just let it float for the year? I mean, it's hard. And that's one thing that we haven't talked about enough is that's a lot of mouths to feed. It's a great problem to have, like I've mentioned, just because you've got 13 really talented guys or 12 talented guys to be on the floor at the same time. But that's 12, and I'm not trying to be negative or anything, but that's 12 egos that you have to keep in check. And those freshmen came to play. The grad transfers, I'm sure, came to play. And someone's going to get left out on the dry here. Do you even feel that?
There's no way that everybody's going to get the minutes they want or even close to the minutes they want. Somebody's going to get redshirted. That's just a fact. Someone's going to get redshirted, whether it's one or two of them. And my thoughts are it'll be more on the younger guys, a couple of them that are going to be averaging, if they get a chance, something like 5 to 6 to 7 minutes per game. 877-377-6963 to get with us. We have Bob Holt coming up after the break, and we'll be talking with Bob about Muss's new hire and some other takeaways from the press conference. I wonder if Bob's got a great fireworks show that we need to see. Let us know where the best fireworks display across town is, and apparently you want me to keep it secret. How am I supposed to keep that stuff secret? We want to help our friends have a good time on July 4th.
Heck yeah.
Talk with Bob after the break.
There are people who say things aren't made here anymore. Those people should make a trip to Michigan or Kentucky or Illinois, where you'll find our workers and dealers and engineers and technicians building at the Ford Motor Company, the same way we have for over a century, in the same place, for the same reason. Built for America.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Working on an oil change? We can help you get started. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Mobil 1 synthetic high-mileage motor oil and an STP extended life oil filter for just $31.99. And if you need it fast, you can get it fast your way. Whether it's next-day delivery or free same-day pickup, in-store or curbside. The choice is yours. Getting your job done just got easier. Restrictions and details at AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, now open Tuesday through Saturday. Still serving all the 906 specialty items, with new menu items including fish and chips, classic club sandwiches, Caesar and Cobb salads, dine in or carry out, wines, top shelf spirits, and handcrafted cocktails and cigars, all in an atmosphere that feels more like a destination. Following all of the state guidelines in a state-of-the-art air filtration system for your safety. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith. Doors open Tuesday through Saturday at 4 p.m.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen, or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
In the office, on the course, poolside, or on the sideline, Pinnacle helps you make the call. A hosted PBX business phone system can provide all the benefits of a traditional phone system without the high cost. Now through the end of July, add 4 new hosted PBX phones and get the 5th one at no additional cost. 5 phones for only $99 a month? Now that's a deal you need to call on. Business communication your way. Pinnacle Telecom, tomorrow's technology today.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Now is the perfect time to invest in your own backyard oasis. Hi, Tommy Kraft here for my good friends at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith. Burton Pools and Spas has everything you need. Semi-in-ground pools, right now starting at $9,997. You want a hot tub? This is the perfect time. Hot Springs hot tubs, starting at $26.95. Several luxury spas in stock to choose from. And you're sure to find the perfect hot tub for you and your family. Plus, Burton Pools and Spas has great deals on pool accessories, big green eggs, and all the outdoor living furniture you're ever going to need. Hey, it's all at Burton Pools and Spas. They're in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and you can find them online at burtonpools.com. For everything pools, it's your locally owned Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith. Burton Pools and Spas. They're your source for backyard fun.
This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
Franklin takes his lead at first, but now home to Kerstad, and it's hit well, right field. Bates looking back, going back, it's out of here! It's a 2-run walk-off bomb for Heston Kerstad, and the Hogs take the series.
Back on Halftime, gorgeous day as I sit here by the beach, Southern Shores, North Carolina.
Quit rubbing it in.
Yeah, I told you I'd try not to brag too much. I just
Good
can't
Lord.
help it. It's such a beautiful view. Such a beautiful view. I'm starting to think of pina coladas, man. It's my favorite boat drink. Maybe I'll get one of those once the show is done. Let's talk to Bob Holt.
Are you going to get one for each hand?
I'll get one for each extremity. You'll get 4 of them. One for each foot. Hey, Bob, how you doing today? What's up?
I'm okay. How are you guys?
I'm all right, too. You got a favorite boat drink? I know I didn't prep you for that, but I just started thinking of it because I can't think of anything else at the moment because I'm looking at the ocean. I want a pina colada, but I'll wait until the show's done. Do you have a boat drink or an umbrella drink that's your favorite?
I really don't. I never drank a whole lot. I really don't drink anymore. I usually just drink water. I guess I'd say a iced tea with sweetener. I know that's probably not very sexy, but I guess that'd be my go-to drink now.
You can't go wrong with a glass of sweet tea.
That works, too. It can be a virgin drink. It doesn't have to be the hard stuff. So you could have a virgin daiquiri or virgin Bloody Mary or, hey, just some iced tea that's delicious, too. That's perfect for being on the beach. All right, so new assistant coach for Arkansas basketball. He's actually the new associate head coach, David Patrick. Was this a surprise? A lot of people that we talked to thought that Anthony Ruda might be the guy just to slide into that role, and they would hire a new director of basketball operations. So when you're looking into the background, though, between Muss and Patrick, I guess it's not very big of a surprise. So I wonder where you come in on that.
Well, I guess it's a bit of a surprise because he had a head coaching job. Now, granted, it was California Riverside. It wasn't UCLA, but, most of the assistants aspire to be a head coach, and unless you're really lucky, you start at a mid-major. But Riverside's a very hard job. I didn't really realize this until I was reading the press release, but, they went 17 and 15 last year, up from 10-23, so obviously much better second season. But those 17 wins tied for the most Riverside's ever had. So, they haven't had a 25-5 season. I mean, usually, some schools at some point had some awesome year in their league, and, won 25 or 28 games or whatever. So Riverside's a very hard job. So I haven't talked to David Patrick yet, but my guess is that, Eric is a pretty persuasive guy. I think we've seen him recruiting. Convinced him that he'd be better off here. And, Arkansas is going to do great things, and they'll be able to land a better job than Riverside. I would say that's just speculation on my part. But, guys don't leave jobs they think are better than the ones they're going to. So, obviously, Dave Patrick, he knows about the SEC, Coach LSU. The funny thing to me about this is, or ironic, is he helped convince Eric to go to LSU when he was an assistant at LSU working for Johnny Jones. And now, Eric is the head coach, convinces him to come to Arkansas. So, Todd and Eric, they've been friends for going back to 2008. I think they've worked together. So there's obviously a pretty strong trust factor there. But on paper, I mean, he looks like a really good hire because, he's coached in the SEC. He's been a head coach. He's known as a really good recruiter. He landed Ben Simmons for LSU. That didn't turn out so well for LSU because they didn't go to the NCAA tournament. But it turned out well for Ben Simmons because he was the number 1 pick. So, he's from Australia. So it's interesting, might be able to have some international recruiting for Arkansas now, but he looks like a very good hire in all phases of the game.
This kind of reminds me a little bit about about Dan Enos' hire at Arkansas as the offensive coordinator. He leaves a Division I head coaching job, Central Michigan. I think it's not to say that coming to Arkansas is cush. If you're a college coach of any sort, it's going to be a grind, 12 months a year, and a lot of travel involved in it and being away from the family and all that. But it's certainly a little more of a grind when you're in Riverside, California, or you're coaching the Chippewas of Central Michigan. And obviously, it didn't really work out for Dan Enos overall because he's now a running backs coach at Cincinnati. But it feels a little bit the same as Dan Enos coming to Arkansas.
Yeah, one thing, I don't know what Chris Crutchfield, who had this job previously, was making $360,000 a year, and I don't know if that's what David Patrick's getting. If he's getting a little bit more, a little bit less, he must be close to that. And I don't know what he was making at Riverside. Obviously, the cost of living in Fayetteville is not as high as it is in Southern California. I wouldn't think. I'm not sure exactly where he lived, but I mean, he might have, he's going from being a head coach to an assistant coach. He might have gotten a raise. I know Dan Enos got a pretty substantial raise going from Central Michigan to being a coordinator in the SEC. And I'm sure, Brett Boone was told him on the fact that, that, hey, you come here, we'll do well, and you'll get a better job. Plus, I think Dan was on a little bit of shaky ground, I think, in Michigan, to be honest. So, he got to come back, he got to come to the SEC and get a nice raise. And so hopefully it'll work out better for David Patrick than it did for Dan here. I thought Dan did a pretty good job overall. It just didn't work out. And he's moved around. He was at Alabama briefly, and then Miami, and that didn't go well. Now I got to get to Cincinnati, University of Cincinnati. So, but yeah, I think it's an intriguing hire for Eric. I know it's gotten praised pretty well by the national media that I've seen.
Speaking to Bob Holt here on Halftime, Bob, and before we got you on here, I know I made the point to Phil. When you look at the coaching staff that he has, and every one of these coaches at some point or another has had professional experience, whether it be in the NBA, CBA, whatever it is, any walk of basketball. And I'm not really looking at this from a recruiting angle, but when you look at if you're a high school athlete, these are the coaches that you want to go play for. Not necessarily you might win championships, but if you're wanting to get to the next level and be a professional basketball player, I could argue that there's no better spot than to come to Arkansas at this point, especially now when you get David Patrick coming to Arkansas.
Yeah, I think that's a big selling point for Eric. I'm sure that's how he sells himself to recruits. He's been in the NBA. He has a lot of contacts. Obviously, everybody wants to play in the NBA. Everybody can't play in the NBA, but Eric coached in the minor leagues. He hasn't coached. He's coached internationally in FIBA tournaments. He hadn't he's not like Rick Pitino where he went over and coached the team in Greece for 2 years or whatever that was before Pitino came back. But Eric's got contacts, whether it's coaches, assistant coaches, scouts, agents. Because he did that a lot as a GM in the CBA. So if there's a basketball job to be had somewhere around the world, they would probably know somebody to help you get there. So I think that's a big selling point that come here, we're going to develop your game. We know what the pros are looking for. If it turns out you can't be in the NBA or you don't get drafted, I can get you a tryout. If that doesn't work, I can, get you in touch with an agent who might be able to get you in Europe or Australia, wherever the heck it might be. So, and you look at his staff, a lot of pro experience on there, with Corey Williams played in the NBA, Clay Mosier coached in the NBA, which was on the Lakers staff. So yeah, it's just a lot of it's just guys. The Arkansas staff has been where the players want to go.
What we've talked on some quotes yesterday from Muss's press conference. What were some other key takeaways that you took away from Musselman's press conference yesterday?
Well, of course, we asked him about Isaiah Joe. There's no new news there. I asked Eric if he still talks to Isaiah much about the draft and reports, or if that's kind of already been exhausted. He exhausted subject, and he says it's pretty well been exhausted. I guess Isaiah's still having Zoom meetings, and Hayes Myers, who's on Eric's staff, kind of keeps track of that. I think Eric and the staff are being as supportive as they can of Isaiah. They obviously want the best for him. I'm sure they'd love to have him back. They don't really know where Isaiah's thinking is on that right now, but Eric said, I'm going to be writing something about this for tomorrow. They've kind of got two, not kind of, they have two depth charts, one with Isaiah, one without Isaiah. I think if Isaiah decides to stay in the draft and not come back to Arkansas, then they've still got a lot of talent. I think they'll be pretty good. But if Isaiah Joe is back, obviously they'd be better. And he's very talented, very experienced player. So we'll see how that goes. And I'm trying to think of other topics. He got asked about. It looks like I hadn't heard this myself, but the NBA coaches are going to wear polos, I guess, in the bubble in Orlando, and he kind of got asked about that jokingly, not by me, by somebody else. I think it was John Neighbors, I think.
Yeah.
And asked him about, the NBA guys wearing polos, maybe that'd be a trend. So Eric said he'd had some coaches text him and ask him about it, and he obviously is a big fan of polos, or else they wouldn't do it. I don't have everything in front of me now, but obviously the big, they still haven't finalized the schedule, although we've found out all but about maybe 2 or 3 games. We don't know who they're playing the Big 12 Challenge yet. It'll be interesting to see with everything going on with the virus if maybe they were going to match Arkansas with whoever, and now they say they'd like him to play somebody closer to home. They played Oklahoma State a couple times. They're already going going to be playing OU, so they aren't going to play Oklahoma. So it might be interesting if maybe they go and play Kansas with Jeff Long or K-State, or they went to Texas Tech, and that's a long trip. I don't think they send to Texas Tech or West Virginia or something. So that's really the last big piece of the puzzle on the schedule, so they're going to play in the Big 12 Challenge, SEC Big 12 Challenge.
Bob, did you see 3 members of Arkansas's 2018 and 2019 College World Series teams are in the 60-player pools for their Major League ball club? Dominic Fletcher is on the 60-player pool at Arizona. Isaiah Campbell with Seattle. Matt Cronin with the Washington Nationals. Which one of those 3 do you think might have the best opportunity to get to the big league first? And I know that might be a tough question to ask because we're not quite sure about the situations with some of these teams and who's going to get hurt in the next couple of weeks and all that sort of stuff. But if I'm going to pick somebody just because of what he brings right now, I would think it'd be Matt Cronin that probably gets there first. But I wonder what you thought.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, piggybacking on that, because obviously he's a hard-throwing reliever. And not that Isaiah's not going to be, I'm not saying that I think he'll be, make it to the big leagues and be a good starting pitcher. And obviously Fletcher's, got a lot of upside out there with, the hitter and certainly as a fielder. He's definitely a plus fielder. But, teams generally rotate relievers a little bit more. I don't know what the stats say, but it's not uncommon to think a team might have, 10, 12, however many relievers in a season versus a shortened season. But it's just as hard as Carlin throws, I see where they say, we'll bring this kid up, and he can be a setup guy, or he can be a guy who can go in for an inning or something like that. I think usually with relievers, unless this guy's a superstar, relievers probably have the quickest route to the big leagues.
I would think that nobody's allowed to slap him in the face, though, when he comes in from the bullpen. I think that those days are over. Not like the Nationals would have promoted that to begin with anyway. Bob, we'll leave it there.
You can't social distance and slap somebody, too.
That's right.
You just air slap them.
These things are mutually exclusive. That's exactly right. Well said. So we'll leave it there, Bob. Appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on, as always, and have yourself a good weekend.
Okay. Like I said, I don't even know what day it is, so whatever.
Exactly. I don't either. It was funny. I texted him this morning, and he was like, wait a minute, is today Thursday? He wasn't even sure. Like, they tell me it's Thursday. Honestly,
that's what the calendar says.
I really didn't know. Still got some time to enter the free groceries contest at hitthatline.com. It's brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Just go to hitthatline.com, click on the free groceries link at the top of the page. You just have to enter your name and your email address, and you are entered. You've got 6 more days to enter it. You'll win $4,800 worth of groceries if you are the lucky winner. Brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Cooking is hard. Delivery is easy. Get award-winning wings in over 24 sauces. BuffaloWildWings.com. They'll deliver to you, and it's subject to availability.
ESPN Arkansas and Buffalo Wild Wings Fort Smith want to help put food on your table. Get to hitthatline.com and register to win free groceries for a year. Buffalo Wild Wings, the best wings and the coldest beer. Get complete details and register at hitthatline.com. Entries accepted now through July 8th. Win $4,800 of free groceries for a year from Buffalo Wild Wings Fort Smith and ESPN Arkansas.
Do you own apartment complexes, condos, and rental property? Then you have made a great investment. Now make another great decision by calling Trinity Multifamily to help you maximize your return. Trinity Multifamily offers full-service property management, marketing, leasing, sales, and all the services to make your cash flow. Take the hassles and frustrations out of ownership and call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
New construction and business remodeling is great, but it leaves a big mess, and job site cleanup is the final touch for any commercial construction or renovation project. When you need to put the finishing touch on your project, call your local Service Master Clean. From post-construction cleanup to everyday janitorial services, no job is too big or small. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087, or online at servicemasterpc.com.
Hey, Ty Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. They service commercial and residential lawns for weed management and fertilization for a lush, healthy lawn. Need bush hogging? They do that too. A Cut Above can make that driveway and fence look brand new with a good power washing. You don't have to put up with those unwanted pests either. Call today and get started with the flea, tick, and mosquito treatment to start enjoying the outdoors again. More than just a mowing service. They're A Cut Above. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. Lawn, landscaping, power washing, stump grinding, leaf removal, mulching, flea, tick, and mosquito control. 719-5605.
Progressive presents The Sounds of the Old World. The year is 2019, and someone is getting up to use the bathroom at the stadium.
Excuse me? Excuse me? Oh, sorry. Excuse me? You mind if I just squeeze by here?
This has been The Sounds of the Old World. Brought to you by Progressive, where drivers can still switch and save like it's 2019.
Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Full-time farmers, hobby farmers, and landowners, your time is important. Make the most out of that time with a brand new Branson tractor from Bush Machine and Tractor in Fort Smith. With tractors from 19 to 105 horsepower, we have a tractor that will fit your needs. Ask Bush Machine and Tractor about their special financing options and free loader rebates. Bush Machine and Tractor in Fort Smith is Arkansas's #1 Branson dealer. Check their inventory at bushtractor.com.
You may not know what fireworks you won, but Pyro Eds does. Pyro Eds on Highway 45 south of Ream under the giant American flag knows times are tough and have lowered prices because everyone should celebrate the 4th of July. Pyro Eds is all about your comfort and convenience, like having a real floor with enough room for social distancing and incorporates the VIP fan boxes from Baumwalker Stadium. You can also order online at pyroeds.com for pickup. Subtle fireworks are available. That won't scare the dogs. Free fireworks show tonight at 9:30. That's Pyro Eds, Highway 45 south of Ream.
Do you find yourself smacking yourself in the face every time you walk out in your yard? Well, Mosquito Joe can fix your itch. Mosquito Joe has a team of licensed, professional mosquito control experts to rid your yard of those pesky mosquitoes so you can actually enjoy your yard anytime, day or night. To get started for just $39, call Mosquito Joe today, 479-202-9960. That's 202-9960, or visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Hey, yeah, I wanna shoot, baby.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Follow the guys on Twitter at PhilElsonPXP, at Matt Travis, and at MattJenkins44. Have a smart speaker? Just say play ESPN Arkansas to listen to Halftime anywhere you go.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and SmackDown.
Boat drinks. Need your favorite boat drinks. They can be virgin. They can be leaded.
Isn't it against the law, though, to drink a virgin drink on the boat if you're an adult?
Not if you're a teetotaler.
That's fair.
We're all about personal decisions here, right?
You did get a good text in here from Dylan in Greenwood. He says, Phil, I got a bartender secret for you. When you get a pina colada today, blend it with some pineapple juice. Makes it a whole lot better. And also try Miami Vice.
Well, and I thought that it already came with pineapple juice. I thought that was the whole idea of the pina colada.
I remember one time when I was young and I was wanting to experiment, and Dad was like, no, son, you are not drinking. Drinking is bad for you. And you see what happened after that. But he made me a virgin pina colada one time, loved it, and then one day I got bored and put a banana in with it. And that made it really good. Blended the banana in with it and just kind of a little slushy.
Like a smoothie you had some going on there. Very nice.
Oh, it was good.
Very nice. No, I would like to get the coconut rum, the coconut juice, and the pineapple juice will work too, Dylan. I'll go with that. And a nice, thick slice of pineapple stuck on the rim.
I'm simple. I'd rather, I don't know about y'all, I'm a simple guy. I like a good classic margarita on the rocks with a little salt on the rim. Or late at night, I like just a simple Crown and Coke.
Yeah. I usually don't go with the fruity drinks. But on a beach, I feel like there's no reason not to. So, again, that'll be later on today. 877-377-6963. What's your favorite boat drink? We got a text in here, Tequila Sunrise. The Tequila Sunrise, that's with, orange juice, right?
Yes.
Remembering what gets thrown into that one, that's not a bad choice. Anybody else, just send it in. All right, some news involving Arkansas athletics. Curtis Washington Jr. is leaving Arkansas baseball. Now, I know he'd been put in the transfer portal at least a month and a half ago. There was some talk that Curtis may return to the Razorback baseball program, but he is going to play at Wabash Valley Community College, JUCO powerhouse in Mount Carmel, Illinois. They were ranked number one in the season, number one in junior college baseball when the season was canceled due to the pandemic, with 17 wins and 2 losses.
Kind of surprised he left.
Well, I just don't think there were going to be a lot of at-bats for CJ with Arkansas, with so many players that are coming back. And it's not that he can't compete with these players. I don't think it's a matter of that Curtis can't play at this level. I think he'll get a lot more at-bats and a lot more opportunity to play on a quasi-everyday basis in junior college right now. And you may see CJ with another 4-year baseball program after 1 year in JUCO ball. So he was a great teammate, no doubt about that. But I think this is probably best for his development and his ability to get on the field and play a lot. That really wasn't going to be in the lineup too often this last year, and I think it might be even a little tougher for him to get in the lineup at Arkansas next year. So let's see who's left the program here. Dominic Tomez left, catcher. Trey Harris transferring out. Kevin Heinrich transferring out. Infielder, outfielder Jesse Pierce, Colin Taylor, and Travis Hester also left the program, but he has announced that he'll be transferring to Baylor University. All right, SEC Media Days. This can't be a good sign. They will not occur as originally planned. And, of course, the change had been made from in-person media days in Atlanta to virtual media days about a month ago. The announcement came out, and initially planned for July 13th through the 16th. SEC Media Days will be pushed back until at least the last week of July and possibly the first week of August. So what that means is SEC Media Days are going to take part right when football camp is starting, right when teams are in that 6-week window to when the season is supposed to begin, which will be very interesting to see that they're, the head coaches spend a lot of time one day during media days speaking to the media as a group, doing a whole bunch of interviews. It's not that they can't do it during a Zoom press conference, but it's going to take place the day that they're practicing too. But I also, SmackDown, have to feel this is the first thing that I'm feeling here less than a month before practice begins, when the clock begins to tick as to if we can have a football season that starts on time. It's not a good sign when you see events like this pushed back at all.
I'm going to play devil's advocate, and I'll put my positive spin on it a little bit because I heard this from Tommy. Yes, I hear where you're coming from, but what could they possibly talk about right now? That's not already been. It's not like they've had summer practice or summer ball or anything else leading up to now. It's pretty much like, why have it if there's nothing to really discuss that? Like, we've been lucky. We've been good. We're fine here in Arkansas, and I'm sure, like Alabama sports media, Tennessee, Florida, whatever, they're handling just fine. But what could Sam Pittman tell a Tennessee radio? Like, what is there to talk about? I guess that's where you're right from your perspective, and I get it. I'll also put that perspective on the table as far as, like, there's what the hell's there to talk about? I'm being genuine. I get it. And if they do it right before camp starts, then you've got some stuff that you could talk about a little bit post-spring, post these workouts and different things like that. Now you've got some material to discuss. I look at it more from that perspective more than, oh, my God, they canceled SEC Media Days. This ain't good for the future. You're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. I think it's more what is there to discuss?
I think you're right about that, and there's something in me right now that can't help but feel a lot of pessimism about having a football season that either starts on time or even having one at all in the fall. And And with what's happened in the last month and the numbers picking up as they are, when I hear that things are being canceled or pushed back, when I see the NFL has canceled the Hall of Fame game, pushed the Canton induction ceremonies to next year, basically canceling half of the NFL preseason, I feel the same way hearing about that as I do hearing about SEC Media Days being pushed back to early August. You will have reasons that might not have anything to do with numbers of infections and the virus, and it might be about health safety protocols for the players. It might be about what you're saying, which I think is true. I mean, how many times have these coaches been asked questions that they really don't have answers to in the last couple of months because there wasn't spring ball?
And getting the same question asked.
I think you're absolutely right about that.
Well, yesterday the governor held up a football and held up a mask and said, if you want this, pointing at the football, you got to have this with the mask. And people aren't doing that.
I kind of remember saying that like 3 months ago. Where was Governor Hutchinson 3 months ago when this needed to be said then? Now, I hope it's not too late. If people that will listen to the governor and will do that, if they can equate these two things, mask with football season, would have been nice to think about this 3 months ago.
Matty T for governor.
That's right. Run, Matty T.
Phil for commissioner, Matty T for governor.
He's running. Your favorite boat drinks coming up. And we're talking baseball with Jeff Levering, half past the bottom of the hour. Stay tuned. More
Joe's
halftime.
Grill and Cantina is making Saturdays even better with $1 tacos and $1 specialty draft beers. You can't go wrong with Taco Saturdays and specialty draft beers for just $1. Plus $3 margaritas every day. Joe's Grill and Cantina, making your Saturdays even better with $1 tacos and $1 specialty draft beers. $1 tacos and $1 draft beers every Saturday at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Barley is the soul of Budweiser. That's why we've been working with the same family-owned American farms for more than 50 years to harvest it. The secrets to growing this grain perfectly have been passed down through 3 generations. For them, it's a legacy. And it's why only the best barley and locally sourced ingredients are used to make Budweiser. Budweiser is proudly raised across America. This Bud's from our barley farmers. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Tommy Kraft here for The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building your next fence. The Fence Man recently built new gates for my existing fence. The whole process was easy, quick, and most importantly, affordable. Plus, 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available with The Fence Man. If you need a new fence, gate, or anything that involves a fence, call The Fence Man, 479-782-3936. That's 782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Wave Rural Connect is bringing state-of-the-art fiber, internet, TV, and phone services right into your home. Get amazing fast fiber internet, 100 megabits for only $49.95 per month, or 1 gigabit for only $79.95 per month. TV packages from the basics to our amazing Altered TV, starting at $32.95. Fiber phone services start at $29.95. Go to waveruralconnect.com to find out if we are installing in your area, or call 1-833-4-WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
River City Bistro is open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. River City's dining room is set up for your safety and comfort, or enjoy outdoor dining on the spacious patio. River City Bistro, locally owned and open Monday through Friday 11 to 8. Weekends 10 till 8 for brunch and dinner. Want River City curbside to go? Search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro and order right from the page or on the website at rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Just a slight chance of seeing a shower or thunderstorm, especially across the north tonight. The overnight low will drop down into the low 70s. Chance of a few showers or storms for Thursday. Otherwise sunny, hot, and humid. Highs in the mid-90s. A heat index approaching 107. And then another chance of scattered showers and storms Friday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Hey, this is Ty Richardson. Make sure to listen to The Morning Rush every weekday morning from 6 to 9 on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Good station.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Bushlight Studios on ESPN 95.3.
You guys are awesome, baby. You have these guys, ESPN in Arkansas. They do a good job.
Live from the Bushlight Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here. Woo!
on your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas?
Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from
hitthatline.com.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Jones for the win. He got it. He got it. He got it. Mason Jones banks in a three with 0.1 seconds to play.
Hey, hold on. It's almost halftime.
Oh, we got the good boat drinks coming in here.
Good
the
stuff.
meat hooks are going, too. There's 1 hour before the long weekend. We've got your ESPN programming set for over the weekend. Phil Elson here. My buddies Matt Smackdown Jenkins, Matty T.
Phil, every time SmackDown bangs his giant meat hooks together, you can feel the vibration like through the air. Yeah, it's like some kind of jet just passes over every time he does that.
A jet.
And of course, those vibrations are dispersed over two 100,000-watt FM signals, and a couple of other big FM signals too. So
it's like it's like the cup of water in Jurassic Park. You know, you see the ripples. You know, every time.
So there was one time I think it was a prom or something. And I've said on here that I was a choir singer, and I was one time singing with some friends and we microphones and everything, and I was so proud of myself. I felt like I turned over a subwoofer, like when the sub like really starts getting low and then you hear, yeah. I was quite proud of myself.
SmackDown, just remember there's a fault underneath Arkansas, closer to the Mississippi River than where you guys are. But that whole New Madrid fault thing, hey, with all the crap that's going on in 2020 right now, wouldn't a New Madrid fault earthquake just fit right in with the rest of it? I mean, with the
Sahara, murder
hornets, and the Sahara
dust storm.
Desert dust storm.
Oh, we've got another
swine
flu.
Yeah, that too.
Swine flu. There's an asteroid coming by. All that stuff would work very well. So, yeah, get the giant meat hooks and smack them together, and let's get that New Madrid fault going. Because if not this year, when?
When Arkansas wins the national championship.
And Jason in Frankfurt wants to call you ham hands.
I like meat hooks. Ham hands is good. Meat hooks has a good ring to it. Although y'all brought this up one day, was it last week or the week before, and I went home and my mom looked at me and she said, "Are they really going to call you Meat Hook?" I was like, I guess. I don't know. That's what they call the country. She said, SmackDown is so much better than Meat Hook.
It was a finalist, though. It could have been.
It was a finalist, yeah.
And maybe after 1 year doing this show together, we'll switch nicknames.
That's fair. I can handle that.
Is that allowable? I mean, can you change nickname 1 year to the next?
I think so, because you're progressing as an individual.
There's plenty of athletes that have more than one nickname. Babe Ruth was the Sultan of SWAT, the Bambino. He went by a number of different names. So we can do meat hooks next year after SmackDown gets retired. We'll see how that works.
I feel like everything that we've done in 2020 just needs to be retired. Any nickname, any traditions, throw it down the drain. Because I brought on the show, y'all started calling me SmackDown, and within a couple weeks, sports is gone.
So maybe
I know Matty T has said on
change now.
Yeah, maybe. I know Matty T has said on it's my fault that we don't have any
It's
sports.
cause and effect.
It's cause and effect. You bring SmackDown in on ESPN Arkansas, and the good Lord's just like, you know what? You've had enough ESPN Arkansas. Now you got him. Let's just take a break for a little bit.
The interesting with this quote-unquote penalty handed down to Jimbo Fisher in Texas A&M. Billy Lucci, who owns the TexAgs.com website, we've had him on the show once, is dialed into Aggie sports as anybody else. He does spell it out pretty easily here. A tweet that says, headlines, probation, show cause, and a picture of Jimbo Fisher. Reality, no bowl ban, no scholarship cuts, and punishment almost entirely behind A&M by January. So according to Lucci, it's all about the RTs and the clicks. And they also did point out that the fellow who runs the Department of Regulatory Affairs for the NCAA is Stan Wilcox, who also happened to be Florida State's athletic director when Jimbo Fisher left for Texas A&M. So it's a very little bit of a tangled web in the world of college sports, but it is true. A 6-month show cause, no scholarship reductions, no bowl ban. It is a slap on the wrist. And $5,000, which is growing out of Jimbo's ears as we speak right now.
Don't you wish you had that problem?
Well, instead of all the earwax I've got stuck in here right now, I'd rather have the $5,000. Yeah, Hacker says SmackDown has run its course. I think he's probably right about that.
What?
Pipes. BE wanted pipes for a long time. We can't go with that.
You can go back to calling me
Hamheads could be
Squatch
it.
like you wanted. You wanted Squatch, didn't you?
Who, me?
Yeah. Someone suggested, like we said, Sasquatch, and they just call me Squatch.
It sounds too much like a vegetable. I don't know if we'll stick with that.
We could look back on Twitter and what was the top 4, because we did that poll that day, like a week after I was here.
See some of these boat drinks coming in here. Dylan says he calls it Tiki Room Punch.
Ooh.
You already went through this one. Crown Apple, which is terrific stuff. Peach Schnapps Midori Melon Liquor filled with pineapple juice, splash of cranberry. And his wife says it's like being in Disneyland of the Tiki Room, minus the great song, unless you're going to sing it for yourself.
That's a great drink. That sounds really good.
I usually stay away from the drinks that are neon colored. It's just and with extremely sugared rims. I like the salted rims. Alan Ford Smith, and Al, I got to tell you, this is not really a boat drink because I don't put.
I think he would highly disagree.
Yeah, I don't put an umbrella on a Jack on the Rocks. But hey, whatever keeps your boat floating while you're on the boat, go for it. Jack on the Rocks is what Al likes.
I was going to say, I got ahead of you one time. I'm sorry. There's one out of the 501. I thought you were referring to this one. So Alan and Harrison. Yeah. I thought this really ain't a boat drink, but whatever floats his boat. And I'll read this just like he wrote. Beer, always beer. Beer in the woods, beer in the deer stand, beer in the boat, beer.
Beer is an every activity drink for a lot of people, so that's okay. That can be a boat drink. You don't even have to stick an umbrella in it, and I think you pass the test.
I do think, though, if you're going to the liquor store anytime this weekend, you better do it pretty quick because I think we'd made the accident, was it last year or the year before? I forgot something. I was at the liquor store at like 10 a.m. It should have been fine. The drive-thru was packed. There was no room in the parking lot because everybody else was in the same boat I was as far as they forgot.
Darn it.
Yeah.
It just ruins the day. Let's like going to Taco Bell and forgetting to get the hot sauce. Like you're not going to eat dry Taco Bell.
Yeah, like what's the point then?
These are things that don't work. Ralph tweets in Yellowbird, which is pineapple juice, Galliano, and rum. I don't know what Galliano is. I'm going to see what this stuff is here. I'm all for a new boat drink. Galliano is the recipe is a guarded secret. It's anise, which wow. I'm not big on the licorice flavor. It's kind of nasty, so I think I'd have to skip on that one. And Richard Davenport apparently says if I'm drinking a pina colada, I'm not cool. I will drink the pina colada on the boat, on the beach, and nowhere else. That's just like for some reason that's the thing I got to have there. It's like Bubba's got to have the Mountain Dew and the Red Bull next to him for a Razorback baseball game. I really got to have that pina colada when I'm by the beach. Let's see. Birmingham News has released its 74th preseason All-SEC offensive team, and this was voted on by the SEC's 14 team football information directors. One Razorback player is named, and I think everybody would know who that is. It's Rakeem Boyd, second team All-SEC running back, according to the Birmingham News. There are 3 schools that had nobody on this list. Those would be Auburn, Missouri, and Vanderbilt. I guess no surprise about Mizzou and Vandy. Thought maybe Auburn might have
Auburn kind of surprised me a little bit.
That's true. So first team offense, Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith of LSU and Alabama. Florida has 2 tight ends on this list. First and second team, Kyle Pitts, and let's see, their the top quarterback. If I can squirt down here a little bit, Kyle Trask of Florida. Wide receivers on the second team are George Pickens, Jamin Osborne of Georgia and Texas A&M. Quarterback Kellen Mond on the second team. Chris Curry's the other running back, along with Rakeem Boyd on the second team. And good to see Rakeem getting some of this preseason publicity. It's no surprise to see that. And this will be published, I guess this was published a couple of days ago. So, well, at least this is usually the stuff that comes out just before SEC Media Days. But now SEC Media Days is potentially being pushed back quite a bit. And also getting news that SEC athletic directors are supposed to meet in Birmingham in a couple of weeks to discuss the protocols for what the upcoming football season should be like. So if that's the case, well, there's a positive thing right there.
Yeah.
If I'm hearing that SEC Media Days are pushed back to the end of July, the beginning of August, well, you got the SEC athletic directors all getting together at the SEC headquarters in Birmingham to discuss what the football season should or could look like. 877-377-6963 to get on halftime, and Jeff Levering joins us in about 20 minutes. He's one of the radio voices of the Milwaukee Brewers. And we'll see what he thinks this upcoming baseball season will look like. Your favorite boat drinks, let us know. 877-377-6963. That's some stuff every American should know about the country you live in. And it's coming after the break. Stay tuned.
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Craft.
You know what ketchup is? It's high fructose. It is pure sugar. Do you think fructose is good for you, Ty?
Doesn't sound like it, Clay.
And it is not. It is not good for you. It is not good for the steak. That's what you put on your steak. Corn frickin' syrup.
Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3.
Oh, hey. Do you know what goes great with your favorite tunes? Cold beer from Sody's Wine and Spirits. Did you know that at Sody's you can choose from over 600 single bottles of craft beer in their Pick 6 section to make your own six-pack? And for the freshest beer, be sure to pick up a growler. Order online at mysodys.com and pick up in the drive-thru. Or download the new Sody's app and save 10% on your first order. For the full Sody's experience, go to I-540 in Phoenix and Fort Smith.
You have work to do. You need a tractor that helps get it done. TYM has the full range of tractors designed to meet the task. With the TYM easy-to-use controls and features, switching from one job to another is easy. And with the full range of models from 19 horsepower to 105 horsepower turbo, there is a TYM tractor that's right for the job and for you. But you can't buy a TYM tractor just anywhere. It's only sold at authorized TYM dealers like Bush Tractor, 7301 South Zero, Fort Smith.
You may not know what fireworks you won, but Pyro Eds does. Pyro Eds on Highway 45 south of Ream under the giant American flag knows times are tough and have lowered prices because everyone should celebrate the 4th of July. Pyro Eds is all about your comfort and convenience, like having a real floor with enough room for social distancing and incorporates the VIP fan boxes from Baumwalker Stadium. You can also order online at pyroeds.com for pickup. Subtle fireworks are available. That won't scare the dogs. Free fireworks show tonight at 9:30. That's Pyro Eds, Highway 45 south of Ream.
Tommy Craft for the Fitzman. If you've always wanted powered automatic gates at your home or business, but you didn't know who to call, let me tell you about the Fitzman. 479-782-3936. The Fitzman does it all. Custom wrought iron installations, automatic gates, even controlled access systems, and lots more. Ask about 18-month, same as cash financing with approved credit. For your custom fence and gate needs, call the Fitzman. 479-782-3936. The Fitzman. He ain't afraid of no work.
Attention, Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative members. Do you need a better internet provider? One who treats you like a member and not a number? Then check out our new fiber internet services from Wave Rural Connect. We are bringing state-of-the-art, high-speed fiber internet, TV, and phone services right into your home. If you are an Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative member, go to waveruralconnect.com to sign up. That's waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Evans Body Shop wants you to know that you are now able to get the repair process started on your schedule. With just a few clicks of your cell phone, you can send photos and your vehicle information directly to our shop. We will respond within 24 hours with a detailed estimate for repairs. It's that simple. We are here for you. Visit our website for all of the details. We offer complimentary pickup and drop-off as well, and extra steps are being taken to ensure your car is returned as good as new and completely sanitized.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Hi, this is Melissa with True Grit Running Company. It's a difficult time right now, and social distancing is vitally important. That's why I'm here to encourage you to keep running. It's a great way to exercise in solitude, build up your immune system, and keep from going stir-crazy. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more tips on how to take care of yourself during this time. And remember, just keep running. This has been brought to you by True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
This is ESPN 95.3. This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
The 1-2, runner on the move. Ball's drilled by Moore to deep right field. Harlan's back, still running, and it's out of here. Robert Moore over the right field fence for a home run, and that ties the game in the 5th inning. Wow. Boy, the kid can flat out play. Gosh, guys, the list of ridiculous things happening in 2020 is continuing here. Got a text from the 870. John and Harrison says they're flying snakes.
I've heard about this.
Yeah, I saw
I had no idea about this.
If there's flying snakes, just I'm done. I quit. I'm done.
I mean,
why the hell
next?
not?
The oceans are going to drain, and the continental shelf is going to crack. I mean, it's just everything. Everything seems like it's falling apart. Doesn't have to, though. I need your optimism, and it's helping me being here, seeing the ocean and being on a beach. That makes me feel a little better than I would if I was, just back home.
If you were back in the studio with us. I don't know. The views are pretty nice in here too.
It is really not
very good.
Now you're better off there because we're under a heat advisory here, and it's just going to continue through the weekend. I think today was the hotter day, and it's like 112 heat index. I think.
And now the surface temperature though is going to be 140 degrees. So if you're going to take your dog out walking this afternoon, make sure you keep it on the grass because
don't walk barefooted.
Try to cook a steak on the driveway. What do you think?
I'm going to make some scrambled eggs actually. Breakfast in the afternoon.
Wasn't that Vegas Vacation? Uncle Eddie cooking the. Fried eggs on the car hood.
When they went to, what was it, on a rock or something?
Something.
Guys, it's 78 degrees here. Absolutely perfect.
Can you mute him? Just
hate me more.
Good
Go ahead,
Lord.
hate me more.
Throw something
hate me more.
I still. We need to see this. We need to see this sunburn. That you.
Anybody else have a a reason why 2020 sucks? Can anybody tell us about any other? Flying Bigfoots or something like that that we haven't heard about yet.
I saw something online. Was it last week or the week before that they think they have new evidence that the Loch Ness Monster is actually real?
Oh, great.
Good.
And there's probably one in every body of water now that we just hadn't realized.
Probably. That right before we came on the show, saw this video of looked like an eagle, but that or just a bird flying around the beach and it had a shark in its paws, or its paws, not paws. Excuse me, in its claws.
That has to be Photoshopped.
Oh no, there's a video. I'll have to find who shared it. It was on Twitter.
Maybe we'll get a real Sharknado. I guess I have to actually watch the 4 movies.
Yeah. Would that be any crazier than what's going on anyways?
No. If there's flying snakes, man, you can have tornadoes made of sharks. I think these things could work together. All right, so we do have a nice weekend coming up, long weekend, and we are celebrating, well, I'm not going to try to do math right now, 1776 to 2020. So where did you find these facts about
this?
Our
Patty
country?
T showed this to me this morning, the 14 things you need to know about this great country that we live in. So this is on, let's see if I can pull this post up real quick. But you found it for me this morning.
I guess you didn't.
I forgot to put the link in there for him. I just copied and pasted everything.
I'm just stealing it offline. It's somebody else's work.
So you're telling me the Declaration wasn't really signed in July?
Apparently. This comes from Better Homes and Garden.
There you go. That's one of my
that's
go-to
always,
sites.
That's always the newspaper of record for American facts.
Oh, of course.
I keep this bookmarked on my computer, so I always have it ready to go.
There's the link for you if you want to click on it now.
The Continental Congress accepted or adopted officially the Declaration of Independence July 4th, but it wasn't signed fully until August 2nd, 1776.
By Herbie Hancock?
Right. 56. Herbie Hancock. Yes, and Miles Davis was right behind
Matty T, ladies and gentlemen.
56 of them had to sign the thing, so I guess it took a little less than a month to get everybody to make it back into Philadelphia to sign that. I did know about the 3 presidents that died on July 4th, especially the fact that Adams and Jefferson, who were, they hated each other, ran for president against each other, and they died on the exact same day. And if anybody that saw the HBO miniseries John Adams, which I think is an outstanding look at the birth of the country, will remember that scene at the very end when they both died pretty much the exact same time. George Washington apparently enjoyed boat drinks.
Ooh.
Celebrated the holiday with rum. Didn't say if you put any pineapple juice in it or any neon liquors or salt the rim. I would bet you that as hearty of a fellow as George Washington was, it was straight warm rum.
Nothing else in there.
Right through the wooden teeth.
Mm-hmm.
That's George Washington. That's great. And rum goes with anything. And you can't go wrong with just a good glass of rum and Coke either.
Those things work, too.
You're like
All right,
sipping on Coke and rum. You're like, so what? I'm drunk.
We know that the American flag initially had 13 stars in a circle. But can you – I tried to do this the other day. And I think sometimes we get a little confused as to which were the original 13. You know, not all of the states up and down the East Coast were part of the original 13. So can you guys give me the original 13?
Connecticut.
Virginia.
Massachusetts. Pennsylvania.
That's
Georgia.
4. That's 5. Come on now. You
New
guys
Hampshire.
made
5 out of 13 ain't bad.
New Hampshire.
6.
Let's see here.
You
You said
your Maine.
Nope. There is no Maine at that point.
Delaware. Got it. Yeah, Delaware.
That's the first state, of course.
Yeah, state. Yeah.
Which one is the Constitution state?
Oh God. New York.
Philadelphia.
Philly. Yeah.
Well, that's
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
We've done Pennsylvania.
You know what I meant. You know what I meant.
You can't forget about the Ocean State. It's the state that's so small that when you're driving through it on the freeway.
Rhode Island.
I did. I drove through Rhode Island.
Island.
I was in it for about 20 minutes.
There's another one.
New York.
Did
I say New York?
There is New York, yeah.
Let's see here. North Carolina, where you are.
There you go. Very good.
Jersey.
Yes.
Really? Okay. Is that 12?
South Carolina?
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
I think you got all of them right there. Did we get them all?
I think that was 13.
New Hampshire, Massachusetts. I'm going to go down the coast. New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New York, Jersey, PA, Maryland, Delaware, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. 13.
Look at us go.
Original 13. Very well done.
Do you know the last the last original colony? Like who was the latest to join the original 13?
The last one I'm going to guess was South Carolina.
According to this that I found, which by the way I cheated a little bit on this quiz, so 1732 was Georgia.
Okay. All right. That's one of the southern ones. All right.
Hey, Hamilton comes out on Disney Plus tomorrow.
I know. Believe you me, we are watching
I'm
it
excited.
here in
By
Carolina.
the way, did y'all see, and you've probably known this, did you know Abraham Lincoln was a wrestler?
What?
Oh, I think I saw this online. Yeah.
It's actually true.
It was Greco-Roman
reading
style.
about this.
Yeah.
That's right. He did. That is exactly right. He was actually a pretty physical dude. He was pretty strong because I think he worked in the forests for a while, cutting down trees. When did he work something like that?
His ring name was the Lumberjack.
Such a ferocious debater too. That,
the Lumberjack. It's coming for you at Hulk Hogan in WrestleMania.
Americans eat 155 million hot dogs each 4th of July, and only 150 million of them are eaten by Joey Chestnut and Kobayashi.
Fair.
They're dipped in a glass of water first.
Isn't that not the most disgusting thing in the world?
It is. It is. One president born July 4th, Coolidge. Calvin Coolidge. Plymouth, Vermont is where he was born. The first person to sign the Declaration wasn't even the president, was never president. John Hancock. Herbie to his friends, right, Matty T?
That's correct. Yep. It's Herbie
Apple pie,
Hancock.
considered the most American dessert.
Yeah, that seems pretty accurate.
That's as American as apple pie, isn't it?
Yep.
Is it really how America tried to distance themselves from Britain? I mean, any food that you eat here in the United States that isn't fish fried with chips or haggis is pretty much going to distinguish you from Britain, I think, well. You didn't realize that this wasn't a federal holiday until 1870. And we did celebrate the holiday every year since 1776. The White House, of course, was built right around the same time that they had the first July 4th celebration at the White House, 1801. And Massachusetts was the first state to declare July 4th as an official holiday. It's a good civics class here today, boys.
Thank
Phil,
you, Mr.
were you
Ellison.
born before or after the bicentennial?
I was after the bicentennial, 77.
I thought you were about to ask me if it was before the Declaration of Independence.
Before it was signed or after?
I'm one of the new generation of the third century of the United States, just like you guys too.
The more you know. That's a great
Scott
history
asked,
lesson.
Was Lincoln's walkout music "Timber" by Pitbull? That's
hey!
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. Well done, Scott. We'll let you exit on that. Jeff Levering, after the break, one of the radio voices of the Milwaukee Brewers, Bob Uecker's radio partner. We'll see what it's going to be like to call this weird Major League Baseball season after the break. Stay tuned on Halftime.
When we rise above alcohol and drugs, we reach for, expect, achieve, and accomplish more. The minute we think about using alcohol or drugs, we lower our chance of living our best life. When we rise above, we respect ourselves and live our best life, not a stressed life. Being drug and alcohol free has always been the best way to be. Hey, it's my best me. Let's do this. Join the RAAD movement. Challenge yourself to rise above alcohol and drugs. To learn more, find and like us on Facebook. Our Facebook page is Region 2 Partners for Success, and you can reach us at 870-391-3176.
Progressive presents The Sounds of the Old World. The year is 2019, and someone is getting up to use the bathroom at the stadium.
Excuse me? Excuse me? Oh, sorry. Excuse me? You mind if I just squeeze by here?
This has been The Sounds of the Old World. Brought to you by Progressive, where drivers can still switch and save like it's 2019.
Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Hey, this is Ted with Ed Walker's Drive-In. For more than 70 years, Ed Walker's has been the place to go for the best French dips and hand-patted hamburgers in town. Blue Plate Specials served Monday through Friday, and we're still the home of Fort Smith's only 5-pound hamburger. We're open 10 a.m. to midnight, 7 days a week. Call ahead for pickup, 783-3352. Ed Walker's Drive-In, 1500 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith, where the legend lives on.
Triton Bass Boats, the driving force of performance fishing, is in stock now at Kofer's Boat Center. Take advantage of model year-end savings while they last. Also, Kofer's is taking custom orders for 2021 year model boats. Triton, Malibu, Axis, Bayliner, plus tons of aluminum and pontoon models to choose from. Call us at 479-646-5672 or check out our inventory online at Kofers.com. Kofer's Boat Center, your authorized Triton boat dealer, has been helping our customers create a lifetime of family memories for over 50 years.
You may not know what fireworks you won, but Pyro Eds does. Pyro Eds on Highway 45 south of Ream under the giant American flag knows times are tough and have lowered prices because everyone should celebrate the 4th of July. Pyro Eds is all about your comfort and convenience, like having a real floor with enough room for social distancing and incorporates the VIP fan boxes from Baumwalker Stadium. You can also order online at pyroeds.com for pickup. Subtle fireworks are available that won't scare the dogs. Free fireworks show tonight at 9:30. That's Pyro Ed, Highway 45 south of Ream.
River City Bistro is open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. River City's dining room is set up for your safety and comfort, or enjoy outdoor dining on the spacious patio. River City Bistro, locally owned and open Monday through Friday 11 to 8. Weekends 10 till 8 for brunch and dinner. Want River City curbside to go? Search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro and order right from the page or on the website at rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
Tri-Hill Turf offers the highest quality turf and pest services. Hey, you say those are big words. Well, let's see. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has a company agronomist, state and nationally certified technicians, free soil testing, and they even have precision GPS guided application equipment. Now that's high tech. For over 30 years, Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has used the latest application technology, and they strive for turf and pest excellence. They are your local turf and pest experts. Call the local team at 782-0404. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest.
Has it been too long since your last haircut? Knockouts Haircuts for Men is now open at Fort Smith. The Knockouts girls are ready and waiting for you at their new location right next to JJ's on Phoenix Avenue. Knockouts Haircuts for Men may be the only place in this area where not only do you get the best haircut of your life, but they give you a free beer too after you're done. That's right. Get your haircut, get your free beer. That's just the way it works at Knockouts Haircuts for Men. Download the Knockouts app to make an appointment, and we'll see you real soon at Knockouts Haircuts for Men in Fort Smith.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Hey, sir!
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
Madden's 1-0. Kerstad hits a high drive to center with a chance. Back goes Todd. Todd's at the wall. That's gone. And Heston Kerstad leads off the 6th inning with his 5th home run of the season. Jeff Levering, radio voice, Milwaukee Brewers, also does college football, college basketball with Fox. Good friend, former radio voice of the Springfield Cardinals, joining us here on Halftime from Milwaukee. Baseball season is approaching, thankfully. Summer camp is starting soon. So, Jeff, looks like we're going to have a baseball season. Not a baseball season that has ever been like a baseball season before. So how are you getting yourself ready for something that I don't know if anybody really knows what this is going to look like?
No, and we've heard the word unprecedented be thrown around so much, I'm almost sick of it. But I am pretty excited about this quote-unquote summer camp that these players get to go to. It sounds like a lot of fun, and I feel like we should be doing slip and slides and rock climbing and doing things like that. But it's going to be a sprint. I know that. It's not summer camp for the players. It's not that way for the coaches. They're going to be grinding to get themselves ready for a baseball season for 60 games in 66 days. It goes back to their old minor league days when they were instructional league or in the New York Penn League or the Northwest League, to where it's a sprint to the finish. And I'm excited to get it going. It's going to be weird. It's going to be different. But I think everybody is just going to embrace what this season is going to be, because there's never been one like it before.
And there's so many questions about, are there going to be asterisks next to champions and batting titles and all of that stuff? I don't know if that really matters very much, because everything is different about this upcoming season. And I think the thing that's the most different is the fact that you essentially are having 3 separate leagues done by geography. And you're still going to have a National League champion and an American League champion face each other in the World Series. One of the crazy things about this is that for the National League playoffs, you'll have National League teams that did not play each other during the regular season. And it's just nuts to think about that. To me, that's the most different aspect of what we're seeing, or what we will see in the near future.
Yeah, I'm with you, Phil. It's a lot of people point to the DH being universal, and I think it helps out a lot of teams, especially in the National League. A team like the Brewers will be helped out significantly by having a designated hitter all the time. But the fact that, say, the Brewers go to the playoffs and they meet up with the Washington Nationals like they did in the wild card game last year, they won't have seen them since October 1st of 2019. And that is a weird thing. You have no book on these guys. You have no book on anything. You're not going to have scouts in the stands to give you advanced metrics on what these guys have been doing recently. That's another portion of it. It's bonkers, man. There's so many moving parts, and you're going to have to rely upon so much video for your scouting and previous reports. It's just really, really different. I think the Brewers are in a really good spot in the Central, where you could essentially beat up on the Tigers and the Royals a bit. The Pirates aren't going to be very good, but the rest of the teams you're going to be playing are quite good. The White Sox are better, and the Twins are better. You do get to stay in the time zone of the Central for the most part. You only go to Cincinnati and Pittsburgh that are on the East Coast time zone, Detroit too. But still, it's going to be a grinder. It's going to be a grinder, and we're embracing the weird. Even if it's calling every single game from Miller Park and not seeing a visiting game and not seeing a live game. If you're like my partner who fills in for Bob Euchre on the road games, he might not see a live baseball game in 2020 other than spring training. He'll be calling games off of a video board for the road games, quote unquote road games, but we'll be in our home ballpark.
Well, and I knew that there were some radio teams that were traveling, but I think with Euchre's age, was that the reason why the radio crew for Milwaukee is staying at Miller Park for the season?
Not necessarily, because he wouldn't have traveled anyway. But they have the tier system, the 1, 2, and 3 tiers, and if it's deemed necessary, we might travel at some point. But at this point, it just makes more sense for us to stay at Miller Park, have our same setup. They've kind of COVID-proofed our booth with plexiglass, and they've done a nice job with it. hopefully they can just tear it down at the end of the year and we don't have to worry about it again. But that's just kind of what our new normal is going to be. I don't know. I think I've only heard in the Central Division that only one visiting radio broadcast team is going to be traveling. That's all I've heard to this point. Mostly guys are going to stay in their own place.
Speaking of Jeff Levering here on Halftime, Jeff, let's keep it with the Brewers, and we'll go in a little different direction here. The team's going to look a lot different from the 2019 version to the 2020 version. 14 players signed outside of the organization, and 3 of the 5 pitchers expected to be in the starting rotation. Just talk a little bit about what, if we have some Brewers fans here in Arkansas, what can we expect out of the Brewers this year?
I think there's a lot of optimism, a ton of young arms, a guy like Brandon Woodruff, who's been on the scene for the last couple of seasons. A lot of people remember him in 2018 hitting a home run off of Clayton Kershaw, but he pitched so well in that 2018 postseason, was awesome last year for the Brewers, was an all-star for the first time. He's the bona fide ace of the staff. They doled out a lot of money for a guy by the name of Freddie Peralta, who's more than likely going to be in the rotation, and Corbin Burns, whose 2019 was abysmal, but he came out and was phenomenal in 2020. He's going to have a good chance to make the rotation. They filled it in with some veterans, went out and signed Josh Lindblom, who had been pitching in the KBO for the last couple of years. Folks might have been watching him on the ESPN broadcasts recently. He's appeared as a guest on some of their broadcasts, but they're expecting a lot from him and a guy like Brett Anderson. They feel pretty good about Eric Lauer, a left-hander out of the rotation. Bullpen should be in pretty good shape. In the offense, they lost a lot of pop in the offense, Yasmani Grandal and Mike Moustakas, but they've added a guy like Avisail Garcia and Justin Smoke, who's going to play first base, and Omar Narvaez behind the plate. It's a team that's going to hit, and I think they can pitch and they can play some defense. And I love utility players, and they've got guys that play all over the field, guys like Brock Holt and Eric Sogard that are going to be huge for this roster.
I think it
really.
Go ahead, Phil.
No, I was just going to say it's really helpful for the Brewers to have a DH. That's Ryan Braun right there. Do you expect Braun to be a full-time DH?
I think he's going to be a DH for the majority of the games. I'd say that he DHs 25 games of the 60, so a little less than half. But they're going to revolve that door a little bit. They'll give Keston Hiura some games at DH so you can get him off the second base and just so he can worry about the offensive part of his game. Christian Yelich is going to need a day every now and again. He can't play every single day, so maybe you DH him one day and don't have him in the outfield. So they can rotate that thing around. Again, that's Craig Counsell's playground is versatility and utilizing guys in different places. And he's going to have a lot of fun with that DH spot.
I think one thing I'm looking forward to watching and just kind of see how this progresses is these different rules that Major League Baseball has came out with as far as, the celebrating, the social distancing. But the one that me and Phil have talked about quite a bit, the players can't spit. And I know that I'm saying that kind of tongue-in-cheek, but, all these rules are almost like accustomed to these guys, or the rules that are set in place. These guys are accustomed to doing that. I'm just curious from your perspective, being a broadcaster, how do you see these players adjusting to these new and kind of different rules than what they're used to?
So a couple things on that. Number one, no matter what I do, whenever I put a baseball glove on, I spit. No matter what. I could be playing catch with my son. I could be just putting it on just to see how it feels. I feel like I have to spit. It's just ingrained. And I don't spit any other time. I honestly don't. So I don't know how these guys are going to try and refrain from spitting. I know sunflower seeds are out. Chewing tobacco's out, but gum is still in. But gum makes you spit too. So I don't know what they're going to do. I honestly don't know what they're going to do. As far as the celebration stuff, I was on the phone with Bob Uecker yesterday, and we're talking about all this stuff and how different it's going to be. And I said, Ueck, what happens if someone for the Brewers might not just be one guy, but what if it ends up being a combined no-hitter? You expect these guys not to celebrate it? What if someone hits a walk-off home run to win you a big game in the bottom of the ninth inning, and are you not going to celebrate that? Are you just going to give air fives to everybody? Like, you can't take the emotion out of the sport. That's what makes it so beautiful. And whether there are fans in the stands or there aren't, you still feel good about that. So it's going to be really hard. I'm fascinated to see how these guys are going to celebrate or not celebrate. I'm sure they've had team meetings about how they're going to do it, social distance acceptable. Maybe they take their bats down the row and tap bats instead of doing high fives. I have no idea. I have no clue, and I can't wait to see when that happens for the first time and how we're going to try and describe it.
You brought up Bob Uecker a second ago, and I mean everybody knows his illustrious voice, and he's heard him in different movies. I mean everything. Do you have a favorite Bob Uecker memory?
There's a lot of them. I mean, there are so many times, and I wish everybody could enjoy the Bob that I know. I know it's not possible, but I wish they could all just. My favorite part of every day when we're at the ballpark is just sitting down and eating dinner when there are no cameras on and there's no microphone on, and we just have story time with Bob around the round table and eating dinner, and he tells stories about Mickey Mantle lighting farts, or just anything you could think of. It's awesome. But my quintessential Bob Uecker story is the first time I ever met him, which was before I was just about to get the job, right before Christmas of 2014, and within 4 minutes of meeting him, Bud Selig walks around the corner to Don and Charlie's restaurant, famous restaurant, sports memorabilia, mecca, which is no longer there, unfortunately, but it was at Don and Charlie's, and the commissioner of baseball, Bud Selig, still the commissioner at the time, walks around the corner, and Bob says, "Hey, Al," and he's the only guy who can get away with calling him Al, of course. "Hey, Al, this is Jeff. He's going to be working with us next year." Again, I didn't have the job at that point, but to hear Bob say that to the commissioner of baseball, first I needed to go to the restroom and change my pants, and then came back and finished up the meal. But I mean, that to me was how Bob worked things, and I had to sit on that for a week before I officially got the job. But having him say that and the seal of approval from him was pretty cool.
Yeah, well, there's only one Bob Uecker, just like there was only one Vin Scully, one Mel Allen. There was these are people that are always connected to a franchise, and I know that he's Milwaukee's favorite baseball guy of all time. Who is Milwaukee's favorite player of all time? Is it still Aaron? Is it Hank Aaron, or is it one of the Brewers?
I think it's either Aaron or Spahn. If you go back to that age, but Robin Yount is still king here, and there are a lot of people that still put Paul Molitor in that conversation. And before it's all said and done, I bet you Christian Yelich is on that list because he's got 9 more years to go here in Milwaukee. Signed that big deal in spring training. Yelich is going to be, if he continues to be productive, which for all intents and purposes he should be, he's going to be on that Mount Rushmore too. But I think Robin Yount is still kind of on the field Mr. Brewer.
Guy won Gold Gloves in center field and shortstop. That's absolutely incredible. Jeff, we'll leave it there, man. I do have to ask you your favorite boat drink, your favorite umbrella drink. What is it?
Can you put an umbrella in a Moscow Mule?
Hey,
if
you can
want
put umbrellas
to.
Anything you want to.
It's fruity enough,
Yeah.
man. It works.
Yeah, that or a Mai Tai. Those would be my two.
Ooh, those are good.
Well, Jeff, I'm looking forward to listening to you and Uke. You guys sound great together. Always enjoy those broadcasts. It's fun catching up with you. Best luck to you and the family and the team, and we'll be listening.
Likewise. Thanks so much, Phil. Be well.
You got it. That's Jeff Levering, radio voice, Milwaukee Brewers. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge continuing to entertain you over the weekend. They're open 4 to midnight tonight, 4 to 1 a.m. Friday and Saturday. Live music and the new menu items from the kitchen, as well as all your old favorites. And they are social distancing and have a state-of-the-art airflow system. You're going to have the freshest environment while you're at 906. Go to their Facebook page for all their events. That's 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, 906 Garrison Avenue, Fort Smith.
Locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith is now open for dine-in, curbside to-go, and delivery for both lunch and dinner, 7 days a week. TGI Fridays is taking your safety seriously, following every guideline. Enjoy Fridays favorites like appetizers, burgers, sandwiches, salads, all the great Fridays, signature entrees, kids meals, and great desserts. TGI Fridays, now open for dine-in, curbside to-go, and delivery. Call 479-484-0906. That's 484-0906. Or order online at Fridays.com. Your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 in Rogers and Fort Smith.
It's time for the annual trade-up event going on right now at Breeden RV all through the month of July. Trade up and get up to $5,000 over NADA trade-in value. Trade up and take advantage of rock-bottom prices on all new and used travel trailers, fifth wheels, and motorhomes. And you get free maintenance for life on everything new. Breeden RV will also take care of all your service needs on all makes and models. Shop today at BreedenRV.com and then come see Ransom in the Game at Breeden RV between Van Buren and Alma on Alma Highway. Breeden RV, where adventures begin.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Kevin Hickey Law has a great team of people who are dedicated to your legal cares. Kevin Hickey's law team is made up of experienced, caring individuals centered around divorce, child, and custody, DHS matters, and more. Serving the Fort Smith area and Northwest Arkansas. Make the right decision. Call Kevin Hickey Law at 479-434-2414. And for Northwest Arkansas, 479-802-6560. Or the web at kevinhickeylaw.com, where our clients are our main priority from start to finish.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, now open Tuesday through Saturday. Still serving all the 906 specialty items, with new menu items including fish and chips, classic club sandwiches, Caesar and Cobb salads, dine in or carry out, wines, top shelf spirits, and handcrafted cocktails and cigars, all in an atmosphere that feels more like a destination. Following all of the state guidelines and a state-of-the-art air filtration system for your safety. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith. Doors open Tuesday through Saturday at 4 p.m.
In the office, on the course, poolside, or on the sideline, Pinnacle helps you make the call. A hosted PBX business phone system can provide all the benefits of a traditional phone system without the high cost. Now through the end of July, add 4 new hosted PBX phones and get the 5th one at no additional cost. 5 phones for only $99 a month? Now that's a deal you need to call on. Business communication your way. Pinnacle Telecom, tomorrow's technology today.
This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
And it'll be Dungy on the trigger from the baseline. Feeds Ramirez. Catch and shoot 3 by Amber is good. And a 20-point game for Amber Ramirez. Still got a few days. Sign up for the free groceries for a year contest at hitthatline.com. You'll see the free groceries link top of the webpage. $4,800 worth of groceries if you are the lucky winner. There will be additional $500 gift cards from Buffalo Wild Wings given away in Fort Smith, Conway, Little Rock, Sherwood, and Jonesboro. You can enter through July the 8th. Just need your email, your first and last name, and you're entered. Simple as that. Brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Cooking is hard. Delivery is easy. You can get your wings delivered or to go at BuffaloWildWings.com or through the new Buffalo Wild Wings app. Order now. Buffalo Wild Wings, subject to availability.
Roar.
All right, so it looks like Matty T is taking control of this upcoming segment. He has found some interesting things.
Jenkins took all my material.
He took all of your show prep. He took it away with the giant meat hooks, unfortunately. Just recapping some of the news that we got to over the show. David Patrick is the newest Arkansas assistant basketball coach. The announcement made yesterday about 4 o'clock in the afternoon is the former head coach at UC Riverside after 2 years. Arkansas also losing Curtis Washington Jr. from the baseball team to a JUCO powerhouse in Mount Carmel, Illinois. Rakeem Boyd on the preseason All-SEC offensive team, second team. SEC Media Days pushed back to the last week of July or the first week of August. And the NCAA has handed out penalties to Jimbo Fisher and Texas A&M football after recruiting violations were uncovered, but they are basically slap on the wrist. No bowl ban, no scholarship reduction, and pretty much this penalty ends by the time January rolls around.
Let me tell you real quick before we get to Maddie T. Let me tell you about
No, this is the theme. This is sponsoring the segment.
Oh, okay. So So bring it to the table. We're just going to say this is sponsored by my buddies over at Knockouts. You can get you a top-of-the-line haircut like I did. You can get the heavyweight, not the home record like I said a couple days ago. You get 2 hot
That's
shampoo.
a burrito.
I know. I made that mistake a couple days ago. 2 shampooing sessions, hot steam towels, scalp massage. They've got you covered at Knockouts. But they have other benefits or other options to fit your needs, and you can get all this topped off with an ice-cold beer while you're getting your hair trimmed, your beard trimmed, whatever you need. They've got you covered at Knockouts. They're at 5440 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith, just across from Gasano's Pizza. Download the app or schedule an appointment or by calling 479-769-2391. Ask for my girl Chelsea. She took care of me, and she will take care of you along with all the other fantastic ladies at Knockouts.
So
go have a burrito after you're done getting
Yes, I'll have a burrito. Yes.
A nice
all you,
Bruce
Matty
Lee
T.
burrito. Well, did you see that Mahershala Ali? I always have trouble with his name.
Really tricky.
He's set to star as boxer Jack Johnson in an HBO miniseries called Unruly, a 6-part limited series.
That'll be interesting. I forget the name of the movie that was about Jack Johnson, and who starred as Jack Johnson was James Earl Jones. This was a young James Earl Jones. Yeah, and he was built. I'll tell you what. Really interesting story, the Jack Johnson story. I think that'll be interesting to watch.
Yeah, they say it's...
And I also can't say Mahershala Ali's name properly.
Mahershala Ali, yes.
Mahershala, very good. I know he's a great actor and should be a great miniseries.
And he says it's a dream role of his, and it's from producer Tom Hanks. So, yeah.
What was the movie he was just in that got him not famous, but to
really
put him on the
Green
map?
Book.
Green Book, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, and wasn't he also in the...
he was True Detective.
True Detective.
It was filmed in Arkansas.
Fayetteville, that's right, yeah.
And
what else we got?
We were just talking about during the break the season of Curb Your Enthusiasm that featured the Seinfeld reunion. Well, now they had a season 9 that wasn't so great, but they did come back with a 10th season last year, which I felt redeemed itself.
Yes.
So
I think the 10th season was outstanding. I hope that the 11th season continues the Spite Store story. Although, of course, it burned down. Did I just ruin it for everybody?
Well, that is the news. So there is going to be an 11th season coming of Curb Your Enthusiasm. So we'll find out.
You need to watch Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh, dude.
I tell you what.
You've got a lot to watch.
If you are a Seinfeld fan, this show's right down your alley. He is. He's absolutely George. And the season where he gets the Seinfeld cast together for a reunion show is some of the best television that you will ever see in your life. It's
is being George a good thing? Are you talking about George Costanza?
Yeah.
Okay.
For comedic
He's quite
purposes,
a
yes.
Oh, yeah.
For relationship purposes, no.
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are going to be, they've got a new movie coming out. Now, I'm excited about that, but what's great, too, is it's from Seth Rogen. And,
oh, no.
Yeah, he's 38 years old, which he's, same age as me. Sorry, 37, so I feel like it's in good hands,
Are they going to be smoking doobies the whole time?
Wouldn't that be great? In the comics,
They're
know that
teenage, man. Of course not.
In the comics, the Ninja Turtles, they drank beer, but in the cartoon, they changed it to pizza to make it more kid-friendly. So wouldn't it be great if you turned it into, sausage party type humor again and had them all doing
I forgot about Sausage Party.
That is one of the dirtiest movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, it is.
In my
And what's
life.
funny, when I went to see it, there was actually a mom and her daughter sitting in front of me, and I was like, couldn't you tell by the trailers that you're about to see an R-rated movie? And it was about 10 minutes into it, I see that they get up and leave after there's been a lot of...
Sooner or later, you do learn that all cartoons are not made for kids.
That's right. Speaking of cartoons not made for kids, Gosh, I'm excited about this one. Beavis and Butthead is being rebooted for a Gen Z world by Comedy Central.
I mean, this is the news we needed in 2020.
Are they still going to be into Winger?
I sure hope so. Yeah, in making fun of their neighbor there.
So how many episodes into this new Beavis and Butthead season is Cornholio brought back?
Oh God, he needs TP for his bunghole, which is it's a hole in a barrel, Matt. I look up the definition. So, but Mike Judge, he's going to be back to voice and write the series, and his quote was, "It seemed like the time was right to get stupid again." And Judge, he also has the shows Silicon Valley on HBO, and of course was from King of the Hill. So, I think it's a perfect time to bring back Beavis and Butthead.
We need something.
What's this new Fruit Loop cereal? Is it not Fruity Loops?
This was going to be part of our food segment. We're almost out of time, but we'll go ahead and get into that. Yeah, Fruit Loops' new tropical cereal has pineapple, banana, orange, and mango flavors, and this is something that is going to be coming to store shelves soon. And you know, Fruit
Pina
Loops
colada flavored cereal. Hello.
You know, Fruit Loops normally they're all the same flavor.
Yeah.
But these are actually going to be different flavored loops. So there was that, and also more of this fat news. Hostess is releasing s'mores cupcakes for a limited time.
Yes.
Now, all right. I am not a fan of cupcakes. I think I can get with s'mores.
I love s'mores, and these are going to be a Walmart exclusive.
All right. Well, that's what we've done for the day. Hope you guys have a great long weekend. What do you plan? What are you doing?
Firecrackers. Having a good time with the family, smoking barbecues, firecrackers, and lots of margaritas.
Matty T?
I'm going to be taking it easy, maybe watching some fireworks on TV.
There you go.
Avoid crowds.
Driving to the Berg, going through D.C. Now get up, get out, and get better.
As a family on the move, we've